Welcome back to Planet Expression. Just in case you forgot, here's your reminder. You have a body, but you are not the body. You have a mind, but you are not the mind. You are spirit, and there is no need to fear it. I'm Expression, and I'm simply here to express nothing more, nothing less. Now, let's jump into this week's topic, which is regarding AI. And I've been wanting to talk about this for the longest time, but for one reason or another, I never got around to it, and other topics got in the way. But I got time today, okay? And I'm going to tell y'all how long I wanted to talk about this because I even have notes, okay? And I don't know if y'all can see the date, but we are already in October. This was since like last month. I took these notes. This was September 19th, okay? And I wrote some stuff like months before this, but I actually typed it and put it on my laptop September 19th at 8:37 p.m. to be exact, okay? Now, I actually put the topic as humanity, technology, and time. But at the end of it, I was like, this is really regarding AI. These are the notes that I have. I'm just going to go off of it. They're like kind of scattered. So if I'm like jumping around, I'm going to try to keep myself on track. But let's get into this because this is very important. And these are just my thoughts, okay? Some of this may sound a bit conspiracy to some people. So, hey, you don't have to believe what I'm saying, okay? It's my opinion. And just like everybody else that has assholes, everyone has an opinion, okay? And here's mine. So, um, the first thing is what's been surprising me the most, or what's been really on my mind in regards to AI. Most of this is going to come off the dome. I think I remember most of this, but everyone's talking about the benefit of it, right? And when I say the benefit, it does have many benefits, okay? Like streamlining your work, making things quicker, which I don't know why our society is so obsessed with making things quicker. Like, where, where you gotta go? Where are you going? You're just gonna rush to go home to be on your phone or to be a couch potato? Like, what's the fucking rush? Like, why are we rushing? But I digress because I'm already getting started, okay? Um, anyways, yes, it does make things faster, and it does make things a bit more effortless, so to speak. Okay, especially for online businesses and all that. It automates so many things that require manual labor, and it just does it in the blink of an eye. So I'm not going to lie, it does have its benefits, and I'm going to be honest. Before I get into what I'm about to get into, I'm not going to say I am anti AI. Okay, and I'm going to explain that because my opinion is going to come off very anti AI. What I am anti is how it is being used and how I feel it will be used. Okay, because I am anti control. All right, I'm gonna make that clear. I'm anti control. Okay, and I feel like AI is a tool that is going to be used to control. Okay, to garner or harness even more control over people. And how, you may ask? Let me tell you. You know how when everything's automated, for example, you know how, let's say you owe the government money, or you owe, the bank money or whatever. You know how they can garnish your wages, like that paycheck that you get deposited into your account, they can just take that out. Okay, I want you to think about that because this is going into crypto, this is going into digital currency. It's not just AI. This is just about us going into the digital era as a whole. It's not just that. And if everything becomes digital, okay, or should I say, since everything is becoming digital, that means every single thing can be controlled. And that is the aim, okay? That means your income can be controlled. And when it's digital, the numbers can be manipulated and all that. Anything digital has the potential to be hacked, okay? Of course, it's going to be promoted like, oh, we have all these safety regulations put into place. We all know that half of these people, half of these companies, they do not follow the safety protocols, okay? And there's always loopholes in all of these things, okay? So, if we really wanted to unite, it would be like, okay, those who want to use digital can use digital, and those who want to use dollars or use physical cash or whatever the case may be, you still have that option. But the way that we're headed, that's not even going to be an option anymore. Okay, everything's going to be digital, meaning everything is going to be traced, everything's going to be tracked. things can be like your account can be frozen for no apparent reason, meaning you will lose access to all of your funds, and there's really nothing you can do about it because what? It's all digital. And this is where you can say the sci-fi or the conspiracy theory comes in. Let me tell you how good this shit is going to get. And when I say how good, how advanced things are going to get. You're going to be able to make purchases using your fucking mind. And I know this sounds crazy and I know it sounds far-fetched, but when I say you will be, because I believe is it Elon Musk or somebody? They are working on neural links, right? So it's like basically the signals from your brain. We're basically moving into like a cyborg kind of society where we are literally integrated with technology. I feel like that's the goal. Like we're going to become integrated with technology, meaning we're going to be like half human, we practically are, because think about the cell phones. It's like an extension of us already. Everyone has it. Everyone is always looking down, but now we're actually going to be hooked up or linked in or tapped in to technology. Okay. It's almost like, because there's so many thoughts that I have. I'm trying to get them in order so that way I don't come off as like a crazy person. But for example, you know how we are being encouraged to create online avatars and the virtual reality and the I think they're called the ocular glasses, the VR glasses basically. These things are becoming a reality. They are already here. People are going to be working from the digital space, okay? The whole metaverse and all that. That is what this is all about. It's about merging, let's just say, human consciousness into technology. Okay, that may sound woo, that may sound strange, but let me tell you something. These movies, these sci-fi movies and movies that you've seen years ago, they've literally been prepping you for what's coming. It's literally just because whenever something is about to happen, you get prepped before. Nothing really is a surprise. You get prepped before on an unconscious level, but it is written off as conspiracy or written off as just a movie until it actually happens. You're like, wait, I feel like we're living in a movie right now. That's because they were telling you what the hell was coming. So as far off or far fetched a lot of this may seem, trust me, it's not going to be far. It's not going to be far fetched or far off for long. You're going to be like, what? Like this reminds me of this movie or this reminds me of this show and this. Yeah, you drop the breadcrumbs until the main event. Okay, it's almost like giving you previews of a movie that's about to be released. Okay. But anyways, back to how you're going to be able to make purchases with your mind. Like you're going to be able to, I don't know the mechanics of it or how it's going to work, but you're going to be able to literally, it could have something to do with like maybe even like a microchip or something. Like, I don't know. There's some way that you're going to be able to think about what it is that you want, because this is tying into advertisement as well. There's so much I want to say, y'all. I should have written this out so it could be more structured, but I pray that it comes out how it needs to come out and that, whoever latches on to the frequency knows exactly what I am saying, because there's so many moving parts to it, and it's like I want to explain every single moving part, but like I need to focus on one at a time. So let's just focus on the chip that I'm talking about, or let's just call it the neural link or the neurotransmitter, where it's going to be you're going to be able to purchase things with just a thought. Right now, what I mean by that further is, let's say you have a credit card. Everything's going to be attached to that. And you know how most of us have, let's just say, not, I don't want to project, but many of us have unhealthy spending habits, right? So impulsive spending. If you have an impulse to do something and you just start thinking about it and you make that purchase, and then later on you like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Well, you've already done it. Feel what I'm saying? And it's going to keep you trapped. It's like a system that's going to keep you dependent on it. It's like a circle, and there's almost no getting off of it. Okay, you will literally have to embrace a completely different kind of lifestyle in order to escape this hamster wheel, this technology hamster wheel. Now, like I said, I'm not saying that it is a completely bad thing. The way that it's going to be used or that it's being used is what I do not agree with. Okay, because I do believe it can. AI in particular has the potential to enhance all of our lives in a very beneficial way, because it's a tool. Every and anything is a tool, but how the tool is used determines the benefit you get from it or the disadvantages that you get from it. And I feel like there are more disadvantages that will come from this than advantages. Hence why my views are more skewed or may seem to be more skewed towards anti AI, because if you look at our society as a whole and how humanity has have how we've just repeated so much shit, okay, for lack of better words. If you see how we treat things now, can you just imagine how we're going to treat things when this technology is fully developed? Because all it is it's going to enhance what's already going on now. So people who are scamming, they're just going to get more advanced at scamming by using AI. People are not going to be able to tell what's real from what's fake, okay? And when I say scamming, some of these scams are going to be professional scams. We already have them going on. I'm not going to name anything, but you feel what I'm saying? But it's just the scamming is going to be available to the general public now. Okay. And for those who can't tell the difference, because I feel like it's going to come a time where you're not going to be able to tell what's real, what's reality, and what's AI, because things are becoming so merged, you know? Um, you're just not going to know. And this is where, like, you know, you're going to have to be able to trust in your humanity, your human instincts, right? And the more that we are being encouraged to interact with technology, the more it's pulling us away from our natural human inclinations and humanness, really, which is connected to nature. Okay, because we depend on nature for our own survival, but if we're depending on technology or this new technological system or digital era, how are we going to survive in that? The only thing that would be able to survive is your consciousness. See what I'm saying? Hence why the agenda is to integrate consciousness with technology. Because we are, let's say we aren't doing this planet any favors at the moment, okay? We are human beings. We are animals, okay? We are a part of nature. Nature is a part of us. We are one and the same. We like to divide it, but there is no division. We are a part of it, okay? But I digress because I'm about to move into something else. That's a whole nother topic for another day. Let me get back. Let me look at my notes, y'all, because I'm getting off topic, and I want to make sure I want to make this as cohesive as possible because I struggle with that at times, but that's my business, okay? But let's see. Oh, I said no coincidence that everything is becoming digital. We are in a prepping phase, just like with anything else, like the movies I said, right? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I said, on the one hand, you receive the benefit of whatever is being produced, but there is a give and take. Humans becoming integrated with technology, meaning our consciousness uploaded onto the internet, brain hijacking or malware being downloaded. Now, this is where it sounds a bit, conspiracy like. Okay. Sorry, y'all. In the background, this is the cleaning lady. She is amazing. I love her. All right. It says desensitized through entertainment. I wrote them as like bullet points, so these aren't like thought out sentences. They're just bullet points because I was following a strict like a thought pattern or a thought wavelength. So I just kind of put little captions here. So they aren't thought out, but they were meant to provoke the flow that I was getting. Desensitized through entertainment like movies, music, etc., to soften the shock factor. Use people as advertisements like we do already, but on a deeper and internal level. Yes, that's what I wanted to talk about, because I feel like that is how we get trapped in the loop through advertisement. If you think about the advertisement industry, I'm not sure that is one of the most lucrative industries that we have right now. And when you think about it, there are advertisements everywhere. Like it's unavoidable. You cannot avoid them physically, virtually. You just cannot avoid advertisements. Even just like face to face, think about it. When somebody is wearing a brand, let's say they're wearing Gucci or they're wearing Chanel, or whatever, any of these high end brands, that's advertisement. What are you wearing? Oh, Chanel. Oh, what's that shirt? Oh, Givenchy. Whatever the case, that's advertising. Okay? Like you are literally advertising, being used as a walking advertisement, as a walking billboard. Now imagine that consciously. Like your consciousness is going to be an advertisement. We are already doing that at a certain level. Think about what's being put out, what's being promoted on social media, what's being promoted. All of that is advertisement, advertising certain agendas, advertising certain. All of us are a victim to it, myself included. Okay. But it's like most people don't have the awareness that that is what's happening, and that is where the game changer is. Sorry if you guys can hear that. There, she just turned on um, the hot water heater thingy. You know what I'm talking about. I can't think of it. I just woke up not too long ago. Okay, forgive me. But I digress. What I say? Wearing brands, name, clothes, and accessories, word by mouth. Yeah, becoming a walking billboard. So the goal is for our consciousness to be advertised, and I went a bit deeper into that. So let me read this so I can get that spark back because this was really it was incredible. But it says make integration so appealing to the point that the masses agree that this is the best thing ever for our society, and really stress the advantages and shine away from the disadvantages, which honestly outweigh the advantages. So, in long story short, to make this new developing technology, AI and digital currency and all this, make it so appealing and make it so convenient, because we as humans, we have come obsessed with convenience, and we have come obsessed with speedy service or just things that happen quickly, right? And that's the role that AI plays. It has the ability to do that, right? But you get hypnotized by the convenience and the accessibility of it, that you completely disregard the disadvantages, or you disadvantage the drawback that comes with that. Okay. Because in my opinion, this is my opinion, the disadvantages outweigh the advantages, just being honest. Now, think about it. All of your favorite songs, movies, TV shows, TV programs, video games, etc., available to you with just a single thought. How convenient is that, especially if those are the things that you value, which our society values entertainment over life anyway, so we are practically already there. This would just be a very direct manifestation of that. You will be able to pay with just a thought and have a digital credit card. And if you have no self control, which most of us don't, then you will find yourself in some serious problems like debt, intrusive thoughts, etc., and your weaknesses being exploited and taken advantage of. Honestly, it's the same exact thing that is happening now, but on a grander scale, because now everyone is connected to the web consciously, and the few that aren't will most likely be targeted or outcasted in some way. In order to pay off that debt, you will most likely have to give over more and more control or access to your consciousness in some way, until the point of complete control. That is the end goal for everyone, to be a minion of some sort, and for everyone to be controllable for the benefit of the system. Taking our attention from the physical earth and putting it into virtual reality, because it's always perfect there. Why bother be in the hellhole earth where there is struggle, sickness, death, etc., when you can live a full life of your liking in virtual reality? This markets and caters to our human desire to have control. That's what I said. Okay, now remind you, I was literally just following this stream of thought that I was getting, and it was just like coming to me. So I was like typing it as it was coming. And I was like, it makes perfect sense, because here I would just say in everyday life, like people are struggling. Things are hard here on planet Earth, so to speak. And everyone is looking for a way to escape. Most people escape through drugs, escape through porn, escape through whatever, escape through other people, like putting their focus on other people so they don't have to deal with the harshness of reality and all of that things. And trust me, I'm the king of escapism. I'm a Pisces. Like, come on, okay? I am the ruler of escapism. So I totally understand and I get it. And I do have my escapist tendencies myself, okay? But the line for me is awareness. If you have awareness, that gives you control. That gives you some sort of control, or that gives you a choice. And others, if you are unconscious of it, it's just kind of like you're being led. You feel me? And for me, I've gotten better with my escapist tendencies, and like just confronting and facing reality as it is, and acknowledging, okay, it's not always to my liking. I don't really like this, but I'm going to feel the feels as best as I can. And sometimes I try to avoid it, and other times I'm like, okay, I got the capacity to deal with this today. So I'm going to deal with this shit today. Okay. Like, I don't like how this makes me feel. And I just follow it until I get it into a better feeling place to whereas I can move forward. Right. And it builds character. It makes you more, it builds more internal resilience and strength. But if we have virtual reality to just escape into all the time, you don't need, like, there's no need for that. And you just become, you can say, a victim, a victim to the circumstances or to the reality that's being kind of shoved down our throats. No pun intended. Okay. But yeah, so those were like my thoughts on this entire situation because it is going to become very appealing. It already is, and people who are running businesses online that are fueled by AI or that heavily rely on AI, yes, it has the potential to make a lot of money. And many people will definitely make a lot of money from this. You do not get it twisted. There's definitely money to be made from it. But on the other hand, if you don't have any control over that money or if you don't operate in the within the guidelines, within certain guidelines that are being established and that will be established, it's not really your money. Because if your money, if it's your money, you should be able to access it and do whatever you want to do with it when you want to do with it. No one should be able to shut off your source of survival. No one should be able to do that. But it's like by engaging in this fully or in a way where you don't have any control, because I do believe there is a way to engage with this system that's being built in a way where you still have some autonomy, but it's very challenging to see it. I don't fully see it myself right now, so I'm not going to act like I have the answers because I don't. Okay, I'm not claiming to have the answers. Like I said, this is just my thought, my opinion, and I could very well be wrong. Okay, but I said what I said and I thought what I thought. So it is what it is. All right. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. Definitely not. Okay. Because nothing is new under the sun. And those who agree with me, I would like to hear your opinion about it. And also those who don't agree, I would love to hear your opinion as well. Because you know what? I'm not here for anyone to kiss my ASS, okay, and I'm not here to kiss anyone else's ASS. So I definitely welcome diversity and differences of opinion because I feel like differences of opinion, it's like a battery. You have a negative charge, you have a positive charge. That is what keeps a battery going and it helps it grow. You can produce something new from it, So I know that there are going to be those who agree with me 100%, and there are going to be those who disagree with me 100%, and that's completely fine. But anyways, that is all I got, really. I just really wanted to express that because I feel that this goes much deeper than what I typed, and that I feel like I have the capacity today to go into. Because if I'm going to be honest, my capacity varies from day to day. Some days I have the capacity to go extremely deep to a place that I feel like I'm not even here anymore. And other days I have to keep it a bit superficial. Like my mind just does not have the capacity or the words to interpret my thoughts correctly or accurately. Like you saw me earlier in the video, I feel like I was going round and round. That lets me know that my mind just does not have the capacity today to go there. But other days, I just go there without a second thought. Okay, but today it's just one of those days where I feel like I'm gonna keep it superficial, but I think I got the thoughts out that I wanted to get out. Okay. And yeah, let me know what you think. This is just something to think about. And also, let's just say final thoughts. I feel like our obsession with convenience and our obsession with getting things done so quickly is leading us into a place where we are not going to thrive in the way that we think we're going to thrive, because the way that this technology is being pushed out and the way that it's being marketed is being, it's being advertised as if it is the greatest thing in the world. And if I'm going to be honest, it is. going to be the greatest turning point in the world, if that makes sense. Okay, not necessarily the greatest thing in the world, but it's going to be the heart of the greatest turning point in our history, I feel. And I hate to say it, but it feels, things are being divided. We are being divided as a people. Some of us realize it, some of us don't. You know, some are saying, it's going to be between the haves and the have-nots, but it's going to be divided even further than that. We're going to have subgroups. Like it's like we already have this. This is like nothing I'm saying is new. We already have this. It's just not on full display, and it's not as enhanced or exaggerated as I feel that it will be when this technology really fully develops and it's really being weaved within every aspect of our lives. Like we are really going to see a different side of humanity. Okay. Evolution, yeah, but what are we evolving into? Who knows? So I'm just going to leave it there, and let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about this. I apologize for all the talking around that I did in the beginning. Hopefully it was cohesive enough to put things together. But if not, either way, I said what I said. And thank you for checking out Planet Expression. If you haven't already, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button and you will become an expressionist, okay? You will become an official citizen on Planet Expression, all right? But until next time, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be right on time, and all is divine. I just made that up and I said what I said. All right, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.